Hello and welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. My name is Rory Graham and I'm your host, and today we have the pleasure of having with us James Johnson from Lawns by James. So I'm assuming you're the James.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Why don't you give us an overview of what your business does?
Well, my business is a one-stop shop. We do all phases of landscaping, from lawn maintenance to landscape designs. We also do hardscaping, which is brick pavers, patios, fire pits, retaining walls.
So you actually construct those?
Yes, we do.
And design them?
We design them.
Really? Okay. All right. So how long have you been in business?
I'm going on my 5th year.
5th year. Okay. So you started just as the recession hit, right?
Yes, I did.
Good timing.
Yeah.
And you're still here. I tell you, if they say that if you can make it in the first 5 years, that's a real. I mean, that is a real achievement, because most businesses don't make it 5 years, much less in a recession. I mean, in good times. So you're doing good there. What would you say sets you apart from some other people in your industry?
Well, I'm licensed and I'm insured, and I've been in the business for 14 years and have had my hands in it, and also I've taken courses on landscape designs and gotten my certification for pesticides, applying that, and I always update my knowledge because the business is always changing, and I just adapt to it with my pricing and how effective, because I don't want my customer to be a slave to their landscape, so I always try to be practical in my designs and suit their better needs, like how their schedule is, how much free time they have. It's a number of things that can make me influence how I design my landscapes.
Now you do both commercial and residential, correct?
Yes, I do. Okay,
all right. So give me an example of like your typical residential client.
My residential client, I have some high-end and I have some just regular, just regular everyday working class people, but it can go from, I did a job out in Bay Colony about a month ago, and he needed a full-on renovation. Everything was torn out. Then we put some stone walkways in. We extended a parking area in the front, because in Bay Colony the roads are narrow, so they need some extension. They needed some extensions, so we brought some gravel material, and we put some borders so he can park cars up front of there and not just have people parking on his driveway. We also installed about $5,000 worth of plants, 100 yards of mulch. We had to fix a bunch of his irrigation systems, reroute his heads so they were spraying what they needed to spray. We also, this year, we're going to be sodding it with zoysia in the warmer parts of the springtime.
Well, it sounds like you get involved in a little bit of everything.
Yep.
Yeah, and you mentioned irrigation systems. Do you put in irrigation systems?
We can fix irrigation systems. We mostly do like maintenance on them. I plan in the future to have that service to install irrigation systems. It's just right now I don't find it a practical thing for me to do. So I have companies I can refer you to.
Okay, so let's say someone like him, like he did, he calls you and says he's interested, and you come out and give him an estimate. Is there a consultation?
Well, there's
what's the process?
Usually, I ask a bunch of questions first: his wants, his needs, his goals, what he's trying to achieve in his yard, how often does he work, how busy his schedule is, and then I ask him what his favorite colors are. Is there any particular plants you're looking to have? And then I also, I discuss to him, where to put things. I even put it on paper. I've even had clients that had a landscape architect already do a design to their yard, but I've had to make some changes because even the architects can make some mistakes.
Okay. All right, and so you ask a lot of questions on the phone, then you go out and take a look at the property, or?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right, and about how long of a process is it to get a proposal from you? And is this a free consultation, or is?
Yes, it's a free consultation, and it usually, if it's a big job like the guy out in Bay Colony's job, his name was John Jansen. his would take about a week because I usually do it in the evening times, and I have to think about what I'm doing and make sure it's going to be something that's going to last him the next 20 years, not something that he's going to have to replace everything in 10 or 5.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, now I know we mentioned that you started your business right at the start of the recession and everything, but I know you're also real proud of what you've achieved, and you should be. You're in business and it's still thriving in 5 years. But you want to talk a little bit about that, about the achievements that you've done in the past 5 years?
Well, I've had a lot of personal growth as well as business growth. I mean, my business has gone up 100% every year in client base, and I get a lot of word of mouth referrals. I still market because I like to hit markets that people just don't know who I am in certain markets, but my large areas that people really know me in is out in Virginia Beach area and Chesapeake. And this year I'm very proud of a big time property management company that I picked up this year that's having me do quite a bit of their shopping centers and stuff like that. They can call me up and they can say, we have a problem in this and that and this. Can you get to it in a pretty quick manner? And I do.
Okay. What is it you like the most about your business?
The challenge.
Challenge.
And meeting new people and seeing new faces, and also putting my art out there, because landscaping to me is a part of me. It's an art. It's not, you have to really care about what you're doing. And like I said, I feel like when I see yards that I have done, I feel very proud of them because I feel like I put a part of me on their lawn, and how happy when they come home and they see how nice everything's manicured and everything has a rhyme and a reason and a place, and how much they can really enjoy it.
Right. And you obviously have survived the 5 years where the economy has not been so great. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's because I give good prices. I have different savings plans. When customers use me multiple times, I give them reward points, and I don't try to make huge profits off of one job. I'd like for them to use me multiple times, and at the end of the day when they pay me, them be happy. Not just with the way the job looks, that they get a little bit of money back in their pockets. Okay. More times than I can count, I will tell you this, more times than I can count, I've had customers say that they loved the work, they loved dealing with me, they were unhappy about the price. Not being too expensive, they said I didn't charge them enough. So they would give me more money. And I would tell them they didn't have to do that, but they said they would have felt bad because they felt like they've gotten such a good service out of me that they were willing to just hear.
Well, that's certainly unusual.
It is.
Yeah.
I've had it happen a lot more times than I can really count. I mean, it's happened quite a bit.
Okay, and the last two questions that I had here actually are dealing with something that's getting ready to roll out, and this is something that that you're looking to do as a secondary business or a branch business of this. Did you want to talk about that?
Well, I'm starting a gardening club that is going to change the landscape business.
Okay.
It is going to give people more opportunity to know more about the green industry and to either hire a contractor or not and still get a professional job. Because some people like to do the work themselves. So
a lot of this will be online?
Yes, online, and I'm planning on, I'm going to be giving them a lower price. I'm trying to make it more affordable for more people. So, people, when they have get-togethers or events for family, they can all be out in their yard and enjoy it, because people like to do that. I'm just trying to give more people opportunities for it.
Okay. And, well, it sounds like you're well on your way with this first business, so I guess you probably know what you're doing with the second one. We didn't talk about commercial, an example of commercial opportunity that you had. You mentioned that you did I guess you did mention that you did a property management company. but is there a particular example of what a typical commercial client would use you for?
I've been used for multiple things. I've done quite a bit of different storage facilities as far as putting new beds in, planting flowers. I've also done prunings. I did one in December that was a lot clearing job, but it wasn't just a regular clearing job. It was a retention pond. Needed to be re-maintenance because they let these trees get about 12 years overgrown. So I had just a thicket of vines, different trees. I even had to go inside the retention pond with hip waders on and trim all of it back because the cities are starting to get a lot more cracking down on, you know, the retention ponds because, you know, that's how pollutants get in them because people start to dump trash and, you know, then it ends up going into the retention pond, and when it rains, it all goes in through the retention pond and goes out into the soil and ends up in the, it even ends up in the, our drinking water possibly, or ocean.
Groundwater, yeah. Okay. Is there anything I haven't touched on that you wanted to bring up?
I think you've covered.
Oh, so I did a good job,
The important parts, yeah, you've done a good job. The important parts of my business.
Okay. All right. So if your lawn is in need of maintenance, or you have a business that could use some sprucing up, or you have a project, it sounds like he's involved in pavement and landscaping design, as well as maintenance. You might give James a call. His contact information is at the end of this video, and it's on the bottom of this page. I thank you very much for coming in and talking with us today, and I wish you a great deal of success.
I thank you for having me.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.